Welcome to the quick hitter version of Buckets, Boys, and Blocks. Along with the greats, Monica McNutt, I am King McClure. This week, our featured discussion is about the Brooklyn Nets. Can they make it work? Will the NBA be able to have a safe and successful finish?
You teed it up. Let's get to it. Brooklyn Nets finals already? You're in?
Bruce gave me that look like, I know he didn't just say that.
Hey, listen, I thought the Nets were a worthy contender to go to the finals before they got James Harden. So, that's adding some pretty significant talent there, right?
No, the Nets are good. And I think like they'll figure it out. I mean, a lot of people say like, is there enough basketballs to go around for Kyrie, James, and Kevin Durant? Like Kevin Durant, he's played with great players before. He doesn't need the basketball like that. Kyrie's played with LeBron. LeBron takes the ball a lot. He has the ball a lot in his hands, and he learned how to play off the ball. So James Harden, a lot of people don't realize, like when he gets triple doubles, like he gets like what, 12, 13 assists. James Harden can pass. I think these dudes are pros, and they'll figure it out. Like, and Steve Nash is a great coach, so I think they'll figure it out.
My concern about them, well, I have a few concerns about them. Talent is not the concern. The concern is chemistry, right? I mean, because in James's first two games with KD, I mean, you couldn't have asked for better work out of those guys, right? I mean, 2 wins. I mean, KD gets 42 and Harden has a triple double, whatever. Okay, is 3 going to be a crowd, Monica? I mean, they only needed 1 basketball when it was just 2 of those guys. So what's going on? I mean, I know that's cliche, but what's your take on it?
I'm a King. They want to win. They're desperate. They came together for a reason. I think too much is being made out of this.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I can't. If this is the thought process, then the Olympic teams should never work.
Yeah, but the Olympic teams play less talent than the average NBA team as opponents, right? Except for a few countries.
Maybe, but the idea that you can't have superstar caliber power together, to me, I think it's been overblown. I'm not saying that this team won't have things that they need to work through, but so does every team.
I can't wait to watch the 3 of them play together because I really just want to see how they work it. You got 3 Hall of Fame players there, really. I mean, that's, KD's already in. If he retired tomorrow, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Harden, same deal.
Yeah, and I think I agree with King. Statistically, if you bear it out, James Harden probably is the better passer between James and Kyrie. But what I think people are not crediting or are discounting in this whole situation is none of them have won a title on their own. And the closest to that would be KD. But I mean, then you remember that he went and joined a Warriors team. Now, just by his sheer talent, you could argue tooth and nail about the talent hierarchy, but he did go and join that team. And so Kyrie did it with LeBron and James has never sniffed it. So in terms of y'all need to figure this out and now is the time, like I think they get that. And this idea that they're going to have temper tantrums and not know who to throw the ball when they are elite athletes who want to win, I just think is overblown.
I mean, I guess another aspect you got to really look at is like at the end of the game, we all know who's going to get the shot.
It's KD.
You got to give it to him. Like that's the respect factor. Like the other night, end of the game, KD took the winning shot. James Harden threw it to him. I feel like they have that respect. I mean, Kyrie. Here's the other thing. Like at the end of the game, like you got 3 dudes who can get the bucket. Like you really don't know. Like yes, KD in terms of hierarchy, yes, but you got 3 dudes on that team that can ice a game, end the game at any moment.
Agreed.
Anything about it. Like they're literally unguardable.
So play basketball. That's my thing. Like they're gonna play basketball. Like
they're gonna hoop. They're gonna play bad. They're gonna figure it out. Like I just feel like they're that talented. And like Monica said, it's almost that time. Like if you don't win, your career will be. I think Harden might go down into that category with the Melo category, that greatest players to never win, and he's getting close. So it's about that time, Harden.
What about the other end of the court, though? I mean, do they gave up some pretty good, talent, especially, I was a big Jared Allen fan. I really like that guy. He would be somebody that would be, a rim protector, rim runner, rebounder, whatever. Now you're relying on DeAndre Jordan, and I don't even know who their backup center is now. I mean, DeAndre's a good player. I mean, is that going to be enough? I mean, what happens if he gets in foul trouble in the playoffs? I don't know. I mean, I'm being a little bit of a devil's advocate. I admit it. I'll plead guilty to that. But you can't win championships unless you're a really good defensive team, no matter how many points you score.
So here's my argument with that. I think with Kevin Durant being 6'11", almost 7 foot, I think that just changed like that basically like just changes the whole game for them, because I think when DeAndre Jordan goes to the bench, even Steve Nash talked about this early on. He said, I might play KD at the 5. And KD at the 5, he's 6'11", so he can go out of 5. But then when you look at how the game is being played with the pick and roll, well, you just switch that. So there's no either. It takes away all your pick and roll. You switch that. And with the game primarily being, a 3-point basketball game, if you're trying to take advantage of, maybe Kyrie on a big, I'm living with you trying to score all them points down low. As long as you're not going to score on Kevin Durant, though. You're not going to ISO Kevin Durant and score on Kevin Durant. So I think that kind of like changes the game almost in a sense. They can kind of play positionless basketball 1 through 5 when KD's at the 5. I think that makes them even more dangerous, because once you get that stop, then they got to go to the offensive end. And when they're on the offensive end, I promise you, no team is guarding. In that team with Kevin Durant at the 5, there's no 5 in the NBA that's going to guard that.
I think that's a great point. And I also think, yes, basketball is a simple game, but I just feel like these arguments that they're going to work, one, are oversimplified, and that they flat out can't defend is also oversimplified. And even if they can't defend, you're still going to have to match them in scoring. So it's just going to be high scoring affairs.
They're going to score.
Right,
it's going to be 140 to 142. Like, it is.
The over on every game is 310. And that's okay. It's just going up to them.
Most definitely.
But, I will say the other night, DeAndre Jordan, my boy Jeff Green, who owes us a pod guest appearance.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
Absolutely.
They got Jeff Green on the court. That's another 5 they can play. And put him at the 5, and he can switch 1 through 5 as well.
I be feeling bad for Jeff, because he definitely was defending Giannis the other night. And I was like, okay, well, you go, Jeff. But he be working. I think it's going to listen. We just got to watch. I'm not saying, I'm not ready to say that they're necessarily going to win the title this year, but I expect them to come out the East.
Most definitely. I 110% expect them to come out the East. I personally, if I had to, I'm going to take them to win the title, because I just don't think that any other team can.
Lakers? Over the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, y'all see that video of, what's my guy's name? Yeah.
I'm 36.
I'm 36.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to him. He's actually from Waco, Texas.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Supreme Dreams. That's it. He said, I'm 36. But that's real. I don't think LeBron at 36 is going to be able to beat this super team. He's beat enough, but I don't think he can beat this one.
If he does, okay. If LeBron and his cast, if he does, are we going to say he's the GOAT?
Yes. Now, I hate to say this. I hate to admit it. Yes, he has to be. If he beats Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, you're automatically solidified as the GOAT. After you beat the super team with Clay, Steph. Was KD on the team too?
KD was not there yet.
No, I don't think so. That was the year before KD came. Because that's when they had won, 70-something games?
Yeah.
52 games?
Yeah. That was,
He ended the streak. I agree with you. Definitely would make LeBron the GOAT. And I think it's not even so much just about LeBron. It's about that entire roster. That if it comes down to Brooklyn Lakers, then I think defense does become a conversation. Because the Lakers, to me, can score and they would be able to defend. Defend with an asterisk. Defend doesn't make it a little bit more challenging, but you're really not going to just dampen this firepower that Brooklyn has. But I think that they like that. That probably is the only time that I would lean on continuity and being together a little bit longer. Although this Lakers squad is not the same squad that won the championship last year, and probably trend toward the Lakers. If you'd like to hear more, check out the full version of Buckets, Boards, and Blocks from Pure Hoops Media. And you can check out the video version on the Pure Hoops Media YouTube page.